Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Rachel. I do a lot of book content, lifestyle content. I'm also on a wellness health journey. So if that is something you're interested in, make sure that you stick around, you subscribe, you hit that bell notification, and you give this video a thumbs up because it helps my channel and it lets me know that you guys like the content that I'm putting out. But today's video is going to be all the books that I read in the month of April. So April was a little bit of a struggle. I had my first ever reading slump and it was not fun. So I did not get as many books read as I would have liked to, but I'm just going to talk about the ones that I did end up getting through, my thoughts on them, and we'll go from there. So the first several I do not have physical copies of, so I'm just going to put a little thing here when I'm talking about it so you know what the cover looks like. The first book that I finished in the month of April was The Surrogate Mother by Frida McFadden. This one, it was good. I mean, I gave it 3 stars, so it wasn't like her best work, but I did think it was like super interesting, and it's a Frida book. It was just a quick and easy read. I don't know why I after that went into a slump, because normally Frida will get you out of a slump, but it didn't really put me in my slump. I think what put me in my slump was just life stuff going on. But I did read that book for the first part of the month and it was crazy. Basically, it's about this couple who wants to have a baby, and this woman's co-worker decides that she will have the baby for them, and it gets all crazy and like, you know, it's a Frida book. Like, I feel like they're not all the same, but they kind of are all the same. You know, they're all just insane. After that, I listened to Counting the Cost by Jill Duggar, and you guys will see throughout this monthly wrap up that I was really into hearing about the Duggar story. I find it fascinating, but also there's a lot of things that I can relate to, even though I did not grow up in the IBLP movement. Is that what it's called? I don't know. The Institute of Basic Life Principles or something. I don't know. I didn't grow up in that, but I did grow up in church, and I still go to church, but I definitely can relate to some of the stuff they were teaching within my church that as I've grown up, have realized was maybe not accurate, maybe not the best thing that we should be teaching people. So I just could relate a lot to the Duggars stories. But I listened to this one. I just think it's so sad. I think it's so sad that like families divide over stuff like this, but I will say it was really good, just the way she told the story, and I felt like she really wasn't trying to shame anyone in her family, and she was just more talking about her personal experiences with it and how she was able to get out of it and heal from it. So I thought that was really good. I gave it 5 stars. The next book I listened to was Becoming Free Indeed, and that was by Ginger Duggar Volo. I related to her story the most, and I thought it was beautiful because, again, she was not shaming any of her family. She was strictly talking about her personal experiences, what she was taught, and then feeling like she could never live up to that. And I related so much to her book and her story, and I was just like, I feel like I could be best friends with this person. I feel like we have this understanding. So I really enjoyed her book. I gave it 5 stars as well. And then after that, I got her second book, which is People Pleasing. I think People Pleaser. And I listened to that one, and again, just could relate to a lot of things and just it was like I felt seen, you know? And so I really enjoyed those books, but I do feel like I was kind of in a slump because I wasn't reading anything fiction. I was reading all like people's stories or listening to it. Actually, I was doing a lot of just listening. Those 3 books I listened to, I did not read. That's kind of that. I mean, I gave it 5 stars. It was all really good. I definitely enjoyed hearing their story, hearing how they've started the healing process from that. And like I said, there were so many things that while I didn't grow up in the same kind of thing they grew up in, I did grow up in a church where there was very strict rules and things taught to me that, you know, as I've grown up and gotten to a different church, and even, you know, talking to James about it, realized that that was taught based out of fear and not out of God's love. And so it's something that I personally struggle with and have been working through in my own life. So it was so cool to hear someone else speak on that and how they got out of it and how like Ginger's husband was super supportive and really helped her understand, you know, stuff that was taught, that like this is actually what the Bible says and not what man has said about it, you know? And so I just thought it was super interesting. It gave all of those 5 stars. And then now we'll move on to the books that I actually have physical copies of. So I read Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. This book is very, very sad. I'm warning you, it is very, very sad. I would not read it if I had experience with a family member having dementia. That's the trigger warning right there. Like, do not read it if you have experience with that. I don't have any really personal experience with that. I mean, my mom's grandpa kind of had stuff going on, but I was 9 whenever he passed away, so I was a kid, and while I remember stuff, I also, you know, it's different when you experience that as a kid because you're not really sure what's going on. And it also was my great grandpa, so it was a little bit of a different, not that it wasn't sad, but it just didn't affect me the same way as it would now today as an adult. I would not read this if you have had experience with a family member, a loved one having dementia. I think this book was good, but I probably will never pick it up again. I gave it 4 stars. I just the whole time was like, this is incredibly sad. There were moments of like happy, funny banter, and that's the only thing that made me finish this book, because other than that, it just felt very heavy with life stuff. I mean, it's real life stuff that people go through. So I mean, maybe if you have gone through that, it would be nice to feel seen and understood by this book, but I just personally, it just was very sad. I just was like, I need happy. I need to live in a happy little bubble. Life has enough sadness on its own that I don't want to get that from books or movies. So I typically will not read stuff like this. I read it because it was part of Delaney Smith's online Patreon book club, and I'm glad I read it, but at the same time, I'm like, I probably won't pick it up again. The cover's very pretty though. I hate that it just has this, it can't come off. You've ruined the cover. But anyway, I did give this 4 stars. It was just incredibly sad. So the next one I have on my list is the last one. I DNF'd this. I DNF'd it at 53%. I could not keep going. I kind of skimmed through to see what happened at the end, and I'm really glad I DNF'd it because it was really dumb. Like, I thought it was gonna be good. I'd heard really good things about it. It was not for me. It was not for me. They could have taken it in such a different way and like made it really exciting and thrilling, and this just fell flat for me. So I didn't even finish it, so I didn't rate it at all. I just DNF'd it. I feel like this month I did a lot of DNFing because I tried to start Flawless by Elsie Silver, and I just, like I said, I was kind of in a reading slump, so I wasn't in the mood for that, so I DNF'd it. I tried to start Secluded Cabin Sleep 6. I DNF'd that. I tried to start The Last Mrs. Parrish. I DNF'd that. So I just was like, and by DNF, I read like a page or 2 and was just like, I can't, I'm not interested right now. I'm definitely gonna try to go back and read all of those books, but it was just like, I wasn't in the headspace for it, I guess. The last 2 books that I have on my list, I technically have not finished. I'm filming this on April 29th, and because it's gonna go up on April 29th, and I'm holding myself to it that I'm gonna finish these books, which is why I'm putting it in this video. So the first one I have is The Perfect Divorce. I have started it, but I'm very like, I just started it. But I think it's gonna be one of those that I can fly through. It has under 300 pages, so it's pretty short for a book, and it seems very fast paced, and I'm excited to find out what happens. I loved the first one in this series, so I was so excited for this one to come out. It's one of my highly anticipated reads of 2025, so I think I'm gonna be able to get through this today and tomorrow. And the last one is A Court of Mist and Fury. I have the audiobook and I'm following along like I did with ACOTAR, and I'm loving this book so much, you guys, so much. I'm about 60% of the way through, and I figured today when I have to like clean and stuff, I can just put my headphones on and listen to this. I don't necessarily have to follow along, and I can just listen and clean and try to get another chunk of this knocked off and hopefully finish this by tomorrow. So that's my goal. It's a lot, but I do think that I can do it. I think so. Fingers crossed that we can get it done, but I am so loving this book. This one is so much better than the first one. Why didn't anybody tell me? Why did you guys keep this from me, that this one is so good, so good? I'm loving it. I don't want to like say too much. I can't give like any star review for this right now, but right now I'm feeling 5 star. Right now. Obviously, I still have 40% of the book left to read. We will see how this ends. I am so excited though. And then my plan is to read the next one next month, and yeah, hopefully I can finish the series soon. But I'm also like, I don't want it to end. So I'm torn. Anyway, those are all of the books that I read this month. I know it was not a lot. I know this video is kind of on the shorter side. It was a rough reading month for some reason. I just was in a major reading slump, and really I feel like what got me out of the reading slump is Say You'll Remember Me. Even though it was a very sad book, it was bingeable, and that I feel like pulled me out of my reading slump. And then I DNF'd the other book that I was reading after that because I couldn't. I didn't want to put myself in another slump. And then I started this one, and this has absolutely helped me with my reading slump. I am just like, every day I wake up and I'm so excited to go read this, and I want more hours in the day so I can do everything I need to do and then read. So, and then I also feel like this one is just as interesting. Like, I'm excited about it. So anyway, so those are all the books that I read this month and my thoughts. And yeah, it was just a very weird reading month. I listened to more books than I actually physically read, which was interesting. But hopefully the month of May is going to be a really exciting reading month. I've got a lot of exciting ones on my TBR list. If you guys want to know what I'm planning on reading in the month of May, make sure you stay tuned because I will be talking about that in my May reset video. So if you guys want to see my goals, my thoughts on May, and like what my plans are and reading and all of that, check out that video when it goes live sometime after this. But that is it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you guys in my next one. Bye guys.